Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, viewers. Today is a very special day for me. It is my 50th episode of podcast, Win Life Like a Warrior, wherein it is all the more special because the guest which I have got today is very special person. He is my mentor, as well as he's India's first passionpreneur mentor. And the kind of job he has been doing and for last so many years is immense. And if I say he is Gudri ka Lal, in the sense he was born and brought up in slums. He is a son of a truck driver. But despite all adversities or all difficulties, the place which he is there today is no one's baby. I will tell you in detail. Now, why I call him a warrior, rather passion warrior, there is a reason to that. You know, the warrior has got 7 letters. The first letter is W. So this, my guest today, is got a winning mindset. He's got a titanium mindset. Come what may, he doesn't get deviated from his mission and vision. Second letter of warrior is A. He got an attitude of gratitude. And why I say that, his mantra is, हम मिट्टी से बन के आए हैं और मिट्टी में मिल जाएंगे. Can you think of such kind of thinking? So he's so grateful people around himself and the universe as such. Third letter is R of the warrior, which is remove clutter from your life. He is the one person I have come through that he has removed all the clutter from his life, whether physical, mental, emotional, social clutter. He keep away from toxicities. And that is the one wonderful thing, another I find with him. That another letter is R of the warrior. So he has reinvented himself in the last 4 or 5 years, which is entirely different what he used to be 5 years back. And the another letter of the warrior is I. Now his only job right now is that he's inspiring the millions of people. And that is why he is an inspiration to many. And the next letter in the warrior is the O. That is, he has overcome all the fears of life. Though fear is a very natural phenomenon, one can't absolutely get rid of it. But the fear itself, he makes best use of it, and then he does wonders with those fears, because fear is your friend. And finally, that last R, reaping the reward. So whatever he has done in his life in last 4 or 5 years, he's reaping the rewards in the sense that he is impacting the lives of so many people, and in turn, what blessings he's getting, that is what he's reaping the rewards. So ladies and gentlemen, my today's guest, none other than Mr. Dev Gadhvi, India's first passionpreneur mentor. One more thing which I would like to say, that he's the best author of 2 best-selling books, which I would like to show you, are these 2 books. If you read them, I think that will help you a lot. So with this very brief introduction, Dev, I welcome you to my podcast, Win Life Like a Warrior.
Thank you so much. This was very creative and great and different introduction that I'm not used to these such, long, detailed warrior introductions. So thank you so much. A beautiful introduction.
So Dev, there are many who must be listening right now and may not be knowing who is Dev. Very few must be aware of in my community. So, and the person who is transforming so many lives on this planet through your vision and mission. So I would like you to give little background and the brief introduction about yourself.
Yeah, with pleasure. So hello, all the people who are tuning in, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Love all of you guys. So my story starts from slum. As you mentioned, I was born and brought up in slums of Adipur, Kutch, Gujarat. And my dad was a truck driver. And he used to always tell me, son, make sure you study hard so that you do not have to do what I am doing today. So he never wanted that truck driver ka beta truck driver bane. He wanted his son to do, something different. And I was very fortunate to go to an English medium school in spite of all the challenges. We didn't have the money. My mom, my dad, they worked really hard, sold everything that they had. borrowed the money and got us an English medium education. But despite of coming from an English medium background, I could not speak English properly. So I'm sharing this because I know a lot of you can relate to this, coming from small town, small neighborhood, uh, poor families, middle class. So English was not never, a very easy language for me to, learn and speak. So somehow I improved over a period of time, and I got a job, worked in job for 16 years, different things. I started with call center, but within 2, 3 years, I moved into sales role, and I sold multiple things, products, services, softwares, market research reports. So 16 years I worked in the job until one day I realized everything I was doing was wrong, because I was suffering from a disease which was very fatal. And that disease is called mediocrity. So I realized I was mediocre and I was underutilizing my potential. That's when I, started reading self-help books, started buying courses. I found my mentors, Grant Cardone and then Dan Locke. And I realized, man, this is like a widespread disease. I lost so many years of my life thinking that I'm growing, but I was actually not. I was just bluffing and lying to myself that I'm growing. I came out of that. I maximized my potential. And I said, I'm going to help others to maximize their potential, because we all have huge potential, but we're not using it. I started, creating content, helping people, free coaching sessions, started writing my book while I was in a job. One thing led to other. I got a lot of love from people. Within just 1.5 years, people started reaching out to me. Hey, can you do paid coaching? Can you do paid consulting? And one thing led to another. I started on this mission of transforming. At the beginning, it was 1 million lives, but now it is like transforming 1 billion lives through the work I do, through sessions, coaching, training, videos, books. So yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, yeah. It's a wonderful, so inspiring, Deb. And we know that, yes, one fine day you decided to quit 9 to 5, and finally you are where you are right now. So, Deb, it is mentioned in our scripture and Granth and holy books. When one money is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. And I know that because I have gone through your sessions, and I know that every session of yours, every session, I underline that word, you always give importance to the character, what highest degree of character one should develop, whether you want to be successful in the personal life, professional life, business, career, everywhere. So why this is so important, Dev? Would you like to explain to my viewers?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people reach out to me and say, Dev, how do I make money? How do I make this? How do I make that? I said, anything that you want in life, whether money, success, growth, freedom, time, everything, don't run after it. Don't chase it. Because universe will not give you what you want. It gives you what you deserve based on who you become. So becoming, I think, is far more superior than receiving and chasing and following. Right from the day one, I actually never thought that I'll come this far in such a short period of time. So I started my business in 2018. In short 5.5 years, building an empire and making multiple millions of dollars, traveling the world, having free life. I never thought I could do that. I only started with the intention that I want to serve people. I want to help people. And as I continue to serve people, I continue to ask myself that who do I need to become in order to serve these people? I said, I need to learn this in order for me to serve them. I need to acquire these abilities. I need to have this characteristic of discipline, hard work, work ethics. I said, I need to acquire this. And this is what I believe in, that your character will not make the money. Sorry, other way around. Money will not make your character.
Yes.
Your character will make a lot of money.
Yes.
Right. But if you chase a lot of money without building the right character, it's like trying to build high-rise building without the foundation.
Yes.
Right? It will not work. So building a character to me is very powerful, because universe will reward you only when you're deserving of it. So how do you add value to people? Your mindset, your belief system, your mission, your vision, your habits. These are the elements that makes you a powerful character. and you would want to build that from the ground up, one thing at a time.
Yes, you rightly said. And what I have seen in your sessions, and always you insisted upon, three very important C's, that is the courage, commitment, and consistency. And I think these are the hallmark of any successful person. And जब भी आपने कभी कोई सेशन लिया तो आपने ये तीन चीजों पे बहुत इम्प्रेस किया, and I think that makes your character. And other thing you already said, that integrity, discipline, habits is also part of the character. So ladies and gentlemen, must understand, if you want to succeed in anything, build up the highest degree of character, and that is what the learning from Mr. Dev.
Yeah.
Dev, another thing which comes is that there is a quote which says that hard times create strong men creates good times, and good times create weak men, and weak men again creates hard times. So this kalchakra chalta rehta hai. So in continuation of that, it is seen that the child who is born and brought up in adversities and deprivation develop few very important characteristics, and that is resourcefulness and resilience. We all have experience. In fact, I have experienced myself. You have experienced that if you are living in deprivation or difficulties, the resilience, resourcefulness comes automatically. So how these two fundamental characteristics make someone like you also so successful that one outperforms every other person who is born with silver spoon in career or business?
Very good question. I think everything boils down to the hunger. आप में कितनी भूख है, like how hungry you are to change your circumstances and grow. And resilience is one of those things. Some people call it burning desire, some people call it resilience, to ability to bounce back, some people call it grit. ये जब आप गरीब परिवार में पैदा होते हो, or when you don't have a lot of resources, you understand the importance of growth, you understand the importance of money, and the hunger that typically people have is higher than the people who have a lot of things already given to them in silver platter. And that's why you see a lot of immigrants, whether in US or anywhere, or immigrants from small town to cities, any form of immigrations, those people are very, very hungry because they understand that they need to pave their path no matter what. In my journey also, I remember there were so many times, I felt like, man, this is so painful. This is so hard. Now, there was time in 2018 when my webinars, my workshops were not working. I was like, man, but I found a way to, figure the problem and how do I serve more people? Then again, 2019, again, some dark swamp came, and again, I lost a lot of money in ads not working, this not working. We're doing events, right? 2020 Corona came, so we had to switch from physical events to all online events. So every step of the way, these challenges will come. But once you have a powerful character who has a lot of resilience and a lot of grit, which is bhuk, burning desire, you're not going to give up. And this is the attitude which actually helps people to win. But unfortunately, I see a lot of people are missing this. Once the stomach is full a little bit, the hunger goes away, right? Pet bhar gaya na, to bas ho gaya, right? So never be satisfied with what you have. But when you're pursuing something, whether goal, task, revenue, or whatever in your business, have the feeling of detachment as well. This is very unique, right? One side we're talking about burning desire, to not give up and continue walking the path. Other side, we're saying that detach, meaning your end goal is not the reason for you to be happy. Your reason to be happy is your journey itself is the reward. The person who you're becoming, the character you're building, that itself is reward, right? And if you look at hierarchy of needs of Maslow's and other things, once your basic needs are met, your food, shelter, and safety is met, then people look for success, right? Self-esteem and success and this, success and that. Eventually, the last level is self-actualization. And on top of that is serving. When you start moving to these levels of needs, your satisfaction and fulfillment of living life also start going higher. But this will only happen when you have the attitude of never giving up and being resilient, or even if something goes bad, how do I bounce back? and keep moving forward, keep moving forward. So that's how champions are made.
Yeah, you rightly said, this resilience comes from the hunger, and more the hunger you have, more commitment or consistency you have to achieve something in life. And
Yes.
that's very true. That's very true, in fact. And it's seen on the ground. Dave, another thing which I have seen you very closely and interacted with you very closely, that, life is energy and energy is the life. It's the vice versa. Similarly, that money is energy and energy is money. I have seen you that when you are doing sessions to your mentees, from morning to the evening, non-stop, without even dropping your bit of energy, you continue. And that is very amazing. You would like to give some tips to my viewers that how do you maintain that energy? Because I would also love to have that kind of energy. Yes. In fact, yesterday when I was mentioning that, I was there. Means when you stand on the stage, automatically it gives some kind of energy. But again, the entire day talking that to positivity and giving so much of energy to the listeners, as well as having your own energy without dropping a bit of it, it's immense. So you may like to say something about it.
Yeah. I think very widely said. Energy is everything, actually. We are all made of energies. Our body is not actually just solid. Okay. It's all particles of energy. Everything around us is all about energy. And I'm a big believer of that. Talking about the sessions, I still remember, 3-day sessions go nonstop, 8-10 hours. I did like a 5 days nonstop video recordings from morning 10 a.m. to evening 8 p.m. So almost 8 to 10 hours daily nonstop. I just finished all recording delivery sessions of Passionpreneur Mastermind. And at the end of the day, you feel, your throat is hurting and, my back, because I was sitting consistently in recording video. It is not easy for sure, right? Physically, it's not easy.
I know.
But there's a concept which you also experience in our boot camp that we do,
Yes.
is called mind over body.
Yes.
Like, when you hit your physical limits, you switch your power to mind and let mind dictate and make your mind believe that kuch bhi to nahi hua hai. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I still have the backache because I just finished 5 days back to back, and sitting on straight and back position is hurt. But when I'm in these interviews, I forget because my mind is taking over. Then above that, there's one more concept that we teach in bootcamp. Is not just mind over body, is soul over mind.
Soul over mind, yes.
So when you get into that spiritual realm, when you get into that soul level, सारे दुख दर्द ना
खत्म हो जाता
है ना. तो दर्द जो है ना शरीर को होता है, मन को दर्द नहीं होना चाहिए. The pain is physical. It should not hurt your heart, your soul. Yeah, your spirit should not go down.
Yeah.
But how most of people don't understand this. Like, how do I get into that soul over body and soul over mind? How do I get into that? I think we understand physical energy, we understand mental energy. A lot of people don't understand is spiritual energy. Like, spiritual energy has unlimited abundance of energy. When you tap into that, it's like cosmos. When you tap into that big charger generator, you just tap, you plug into it, you will automatically be recharged. Physically, you may feel low, mentally may feel a little bit drained, but you get into that, that's the ultimate source of power. But to get to that, yes, you need to have good mental energy. You need to have good physical energy, because you cannot just have spiritual energy and no mental physical. It will lead you to a spiritual energy. Pet dard kar raha hai, sar dard kar raha hai, continuously. How long you will continue to avoid it. So mentally, I do my rituals every day. Give a routine, right? Gratitude, imagination, visualization, exercise, reading. I do that every day for mindset, and then for body, I do eat right. I take healthy smoothies, make sure I have more vegetables in my food, avoid junk food and all, right? And work out regularly. So for mind and body, I take care of that. And when I do these sessions, I get a lot of spiritual energy. So when I'm talking to you, I'm getting a lot of spiritual energy from you, because your mission is to serve people, help people become warrior, build their warrior mindset. My mission is to transform people's life, help them to become passionpreneur and go to the next level. So when we do something for others, when we are there, not just looking for me, mera paisa, my money, my house, my car, my freedom, when you go from me attitude to them and serving attitude, यार ऊपर वाला बहुत शक्ति दे देता है. The universe give you more and more power, and you will be like, man, is it me that I'm still going on and on? Is because of that energy exchange that we have, spiritual energy. So I think this is what I talk about in terms of energy.
So true. They're so true. There is no denying the fact that you very nutshell you brought out for the benefit of the viewers. First thing he brought out is the giver part of it. So giver, the G is the gratitude, I is you imagine, then V is the visualization, E is the exercise, and R is the reading. So that is the first part he said about the. Then physical, he said that he eats no junk food and other things. So everybody knows that. Then spiritually, what Dev is trying to say is that if you impact the life of others, you get abundance of energy. That is in nutshell. And they very well said, and I am following that. And yesterday when I mentioned about that, if you really want to be happy in the life, impact somebody's life, and that is the end of it every day.
True.
Then the next thing which comes is that the world is a victim of so many pandemic. And we have recently seen that one of the pandemic, that COVID-19, and so many people perished in this pandemic. But one of the pandemic which is prevailing in this entire world is that of mediocrity, which you have mentioned in your initial introduction. So how one can get over this mediocrity? Because a general attitude of the people is that they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. They don't want to take even a bit of element of the risk to improve their life. However, they want to grow, however, they want to achieve something in life. But when it comes to taking bit of risk, they don't want to get out of that comfort zone and remain wherever they are, stagnant, mediocre. Would you give some idea about the people that how they can get out?
That's a very good question. I think हर चीज का समय होता है, हर इंसान का समय होता है. I feel how to come out of mediocrity. I think first step is to even recognize, like if you're happy with your life, if you it's okay. You don't need to worry. You don't need to change. You don't do anything, because ultimate aim क्या है हमारा? यहाँ जिंदगी में है खुश रहना है. Like if you're able to be joyful, if you're able to be happy most of the time, then it's completely okay. You don't need to change anything, right? But if you are someone who is not happy and satisfied, and you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you're not utilizing your own potential, then you're mediocre. Like a lot of people don't understand the definition of mediocrity. क्या है mediocrity? Is it like, oh, if you only when you make $1 million, you're not mediocre? No. You can still be mediocre after making $1 million as well, because everybody has their own limits and potentials, right? And unfortunately, only human beings are the species on earth who have option to be less than our potential. Think about this, right? Elephant will become fully grown elephant, right? Trees will become fully blown trees. They will not say, I'll not just be a tree. Like flowers will blossom, beautiful flowers will blossom to, becoming complete itself. But human beings have a choice to be less than who we are. And that is a definition of mediocrity. If you have happiness and if you don't feel the pain, great, no problem. But if you're not happy with your life and you're not satisfied where you are and not using your potential, that is mediocrity. So first recognize that, okay, there is something missing in my life, right? Then second is start the transformation. How do you start the transformation? Is by follow the people who have achieved things that you want to achieve. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Somebody's been there, done it, just follow the path and just try and imbibe their characters and their values that they have, right? Here's what I say. If you want my level of income, just build the level of character that I've built.
Yes.
Build the habits, build the attitude, build the mindset, build the hunger, build the courage, right? Just model the thought process that I have, right? Now, if I want to become $100 million man, then I'm going to look at the people who have got there and I'm going to acquire their level of character, attitude, action, right? And I can replicate their success as well. And that also will be for fulfillment as well. So start the transformation by following the people who have been there and done it, right? And number 3, I would really encourage people to understand what really spirituality is. because you can be successful and dissatisfied with your life and not fulfilled, right? So making more money does not always mean that you'll be happy and satisfied. You will still remain mediocre because you're not self-actualized, you're not maximize your potential, you're not serving people. And when you don't get into the self-actualization and serving, you will have the unfulfilled, feeling. You may have a lot of money, but what's the point of life, right? Success without fulfillment is an ultimate failure. And
Yes.
Fulfillment will only come when you are able to tap into your potential, come out of the mediocrity, and continue to serve others. That's my advice to people.
Fantastic, Dave. Fantastic. So much of wisdom you have shared in this question. And viewers, what Dave has meant by the mediocrity in simple terms, being satisfied with your average health, average money, average potential. That is what he means. So don't be average in anything, average relationship. Take everything to the highest level, what your potential is, and that in a nutshell.
Yes.
You always advocate that or teach your mentees how to build business around passion. And that is the way also to be fulfilled, satisfied, as well as helping others, because passion is something which is a fuel to achieve what you want to do or serve your purpose, whatever your purpose is that, and the passion is the fuel to do that. So the question is that you can tell my viewers that what is the passion and what is the hobby, how you differentiate between the two, because normally the people are not aware what is the passion is all about. They take it that hobby itself is a passion, which is incorrect.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
the hobbies are different, passions are different, and a lot of people say, "Yaar, passion se pet nahi bharta," right? Like I cannot just do something and just live my life. What they're actually describing is not the passion. What they're describing is the hobby or something that they like. So what is the difference? Hobby is something that you do part-time, right? You do it just for relaxation, time pass and all that. That's like a hobby. Whether you do it or not do it, right? It does not matter in your real life. You're just doing for the sake of like killing time or enjoying, like a little bit of enjoyment. But passion is something that you cannot live without. This is something that makes you happy and excited. Like you do something that makes you click and go to the next level of your happiness and fulfillment. And that is the difference between hobby and passion. Now, another aspect is a lot of people think passion means, oh, I can just be passionate about watching movies and that's my passion. That is not passion. That is probably a hobby. That is something that you like. That is self-indulgence. My definition of passion is something that you like doing, but at the same time, it is adding value to people, right? Like you're doing something which adds value to people, not just makes you happy, but adds value to people or universe. That is passion according to you. And also finding the way, something when you're adding value to people, you can also find a way to even monetize the passion. That'll give you even more bigger joy. A lot of people say, oh, no, if I'm following passion, I don't need to make money. No, you can make money. You don't need to be a social worker, but find your passion. And the passion and purpose are very connected, right? Passion is something that you're liking, but when you combine this with purpose, is also serving people, right? This is why I was born to do. I was born to maybe play cricket. I was born to be an artist. I was born to do this. I was born to be a coach. I was born to start a business and solve this problem. So passion and purpose usually go hand in hand. Hobbies does not have a purpose there, right? This is the difference.
Yeah, very rightly brought out, Dev. And in one of your book, which I have gone through, you have mentioned one place that passion without monetization is a poison.
Yes.
And so true, because otherwise you will keep spending whatever you have and then finally you will end up nowhere. But Dev, viewers को छोटा सा नटसेल में ये भी बताएंगे कि passion को how to monetize means you got a lot of wisdom and you can share with that कि monetize करना is not that difficult.
Yeah. Monetizing passion is very easy, actually, right? The reason why we think it's difficult is because we don't know the process. We have not walked the path. So we think it's very complicated and difficult. How do you start? Now, start by first adding value to people. Once you're clear with your passion, right, you need to add value to people, because money in the bank is nothing but the direct reflection of the value created in the marketplace. The reason why people are not able to monetize is because, man, you just been me, 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 me. You're not being adding value to the marketplace the way marketplace values it, the way marketplace likes it. You think that you're adding value, but marketplace does not like the way you delivering. So start there by adding value. कैसे कर सकते हैं? Create content, make videos, talk to people, give coachings, keynote speeches, right? Serve. More people you can serve, more will come back to you, right? So that is step number one once you found your passion. And when you're doing that, when you get known to people, a lot of people ask you, hey, do you do this paid? Do you do this paid? Now you get into productization, right? You need to have, your product, your services, whether it's digital, whether physical, technology, whatever it is, you need to have some offering and build multiple product portfolio from there, so that when people are interested and they're ready, you build the demand, you can go and offer this product and service. Then comes the next stage where you learn to close, right? Learn to sell and close, which is one-on-one closing or platform closing. And as you learn to persuade people, they invest in your product and service, you get first proof of concept. Once you have the proof of concept, now all you need to do is scale it, right? Build your funnel, do the marketing from organic, inorganic, run the ads and scale it. So this is in a nutshell a small process that I teach my mentees.
Yeah, in fact, David said a very workable solution, which I have also seen it, and it is true to the words what you have said. And anybody can do it, provided again 3 C's. You should have a courage, commitment, and consistency. There is no other way out.
Yes.
Effort तो हर जगह करना पड़ेगा, बिना effort के कुछ नहीं होता है.
बिल्कुल.
Dev, I have also seen, and you must have also seen in the corporate world, that a lot of people who are working there, there a lot of friction. Why there is a friction? Because they don't know who they are in actual and what they are doing on ground. So there is always a friction, and when there is a friction, there is a frustration. Now, these kind of people who are in the corporate, though they might be earning a lot of money, but still there is a frustration among them. Yeah. Because जो वो हैं, वो नहीं कर रहे हैं. There is a dichotomy between their two personalities.
Yes.
What advice you will give to such people to live their dream life or ideal life, or you can say at least happy life?
Yeah. See, as a spiritual law, we are meant to do something. We are meant to have a purpose. Like everybody's got a purpose. We are born on this planet for a reason. And when we are disconnected from that purpose, when we're disconnected from who we truly are, then there is a feeling of dissatisfaction, right? Like, for example, this is what you're doing, your job, your career, your business, and this is what you're supposed to do, right? And this is the, tug of war. And this brings the friction of people living their life dissatisfied. And unfortunately, 80 to 90% of people are like that. Gone are those days when you used to work for survival and do something on the weekend for your happiness. No, today you can work on things that you're passionate about and make money from it. So if you're somebody who is not happy with that, if you're not satisfied with what you're doing, I think take a journey. What journey? Internal journey. Like asking your question to yourself, who am I? Why am I born? Right? What makes me excited? How can I live the life of service and abundance? Right? When you start asking, when you start doing the deep inner work, you start getting the answers slowly. And these answers will not come in one shot, one click, or loud voice. These will be the whispers, small, soft whispers. If you keep paying attention to those whispers, life will start to change. Like for me, the whispers came at the age of 33, 34. When I, said, man, I've not read a sales book ever. I've been in sales for 16 years. Let me go and read the sales book, right? These are the small whispers. And slowly, my life started to change. Energy started to shift, started to get the results. But all the big changes started with small baby steps. So if you're there, stuck, not knowing who you are, take a baby step, ask yourself the questions. And the best way to start this is pick up the books, self-help books on mindset, clarity. Maybe you can start with the book, 80% mindset, 20% skills. It has a lot of exercises of finding your true self, who you are. Then the second book, 600 Days a Week Life, it again gives you more clarity. And this is my story on how I was stuck, how I found myself, and how I quit my job and build my business and living my purpose every single day, which is so beautiful and joyful. All of you can do the same thing.
No doubt, Deb. What you really bring out that this is the only way to get out of that comfort zone and change your life for the betterment. And those whispers which you mentioned is, I think वो सबको आता है. और वो जो क्लैरिटी, एक जो चीज है ना कि क्लैरिटी 100% क्लैरिटी एकदम नहीं आती है, आपको एक्शन लेना पड़ता है. और धीमे धीमे जब आप एक्शन लेंगे तो देन यू गेट मोर क्लैरिटी. Something like when you are driving car in the night, you can see only 300 meters. Then once you walk 300 meters, then you can see another 300 meters. So you rightly put across that.
100%.
Another thing is that majority of the people in this world are consumers. Majority of the people. Only maybe 10% people, very few people are the producers. So what I say is even the 10% of people on this planet become a producers, probably the conflict will reduce, because then the peace will prevail, because when the producers are there, then there is no maramari nahi hogi. Okay. And there will be more jobs, more contentment. So what would you like to say in this situation, how the people should become from consumers to the producers, so that this planet become more peaceful? Conflict zone ban ke na reh jaye.
You rightly mentioned, I think there are a lot of people who are in the consumption mode today, and they're followers, like, they're just following. And to think about this, right? Everything that we're enjoying today, everything starting from clothes to food, to new innovations that has happened, the planes and all, electricity. We did not invent any of these, right? Cars, wheels, none of those has been invented. In fact, the world has progressed because of only 1% of the people.
Yeah.
Only 1% people have been innovators and risk takers, and they changed the face of the humanity, and they became legends. 99% people just following. Yes. Now the trend is changing, and if only 10% people can become a producer, like what can you produce? But you don't need to be Einstein, right? You don't need to be inventor, right? But you can innovate certain things. Start from innovating yourself. Start by becoming a bigger and better version of yourself, and start looking at what can I produce? What can I give? What can I serve? Right? You can start the least. You can start with whatever you know. Start there. Share that. Right? Produce something, maybe content, right? Product or service or technology. Like, focus on how can I create something? How can I produce something? And if you create more, the whole world is going to change. And, just for example, right? Just talking about content creation. Just on LinkedIn alone, roughly, I don't know exact number right now, but last time when I checked, there were 800 million subscribers, right? Almost like close to billion users of LinkedIn. Do you know how many people create content on LinkedIn? Less than 2%. And out of that, how many people are consistently creating content? Less than 1%. Consistently, right? So 0.2 or 3% or 4% are consistently creating content. What does that tell you? That you're not even sharing your thoughts with the world. You're not even creating content with the world. Forget about creating products, service, and those things. You have such a beautiful technology, so much of blessing that, today, if people like Dhirubhai Ambani are looking at us, they will be laughing at us. Okay, man, starting a business, producing something is so easy. In our time, producing the petroleum and cloth and all was so difficult, and they still became resourceful. And to market it, sell it was so difficult, but still they did it. And all the richest people are the highest producers. So more you produce, more money you make. So think, what can I produce? What can I do? How can I solve problem? But just kuch bhi produce karne ke liye produce nahi karna hai. You have to look at, hey, what are there right now, right? What people are struggling with? How can I solve those problems? And what product or service do I build or content do I create to solve these problems? And anybody who focuses on solving the problems will have to produce something. And when they start producing something which solves the problem, you make a lot of money. and become really successful as well.
You're absolutely right, Deb. And you said only 1% people are the one who are either a producer or inventor or contributing to the universe. So that's what I said. Even 10% people start doing it, this planet will be a little different. It will much different than what it is today.
Absolutely.
And this conflict like Ukraine and all Russia, I think they can vanish. Means if you start people thinking creatively, being producer means being creative. And once you are creative, I mean people are.
And I think Gadhvi, what it boils down is, again, I love campaign of what Sadhguru is doing, what people like Goenka ji have done in Vipassana. They're actually helping people to become more conscious, right? I think consciousness is what is lacking in most of the humans. So when you're not even conscious, how would you re-innovate yourself? How would you find your passion? How would you be a producer? How would you solve a problem? When your conscious level, is very low. So if there is one thing that you want to take away from these podcasts is, hey, how do I improve my consciousness? How do I become a conscious being? So then there will be no trouble. There will be no war. There will be peace because everybody is conscious. There'll be more love. And then there'll be a more collaboration than the conflict and the fight and the competition, right? So just become more conscious being. Be conscious of everything. Be curious, be conscious about, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, financial health, social health. If you just become conscious, just little by little, you don't have to drastically change everything. Just by little changes, consciousness, read something new one day. Your consciousness changes, your life will change. People around your life will change. Your family, your generations will change. And the whole world will change. But the change begins with you. If you're listening to this, for sure, you have that seed of greatness in you. You just need to be more conscious and put yourself at the places where your consciousness continues to grow. That's why I love, sessions like these. I love what you do. I love reading books, meeting amazing people, masterminding with people, investing in programs and courses and having mentors. That's why I really love, because it actually helps me to become a better human being by increasing my consciousness.
So what you really can emphasize, and if I can summarize that to become a successful or become a producer or become a significant, you expand your consciousness.
Yes, absolutely. That is the best takeaway, I think, for people who are listening to this.
Another thing is that in this world, everybody wants to become or live a dream life or the ideal life. But today, because of what you are today, because of the actions you have taken in the past, and what you become tomorrow, again, what action you take today, or what decision you have taken, or what decision you take today. With this background, the question is that the viewers who are listening, what action they should take? Whatever has gone is gone. But as of now, today, what action they should take so that they can dream of, or rather convert their stagnant life into the dream life?
So the easiest way to change your life is to change the environment first, because we are a byproduct of the environment. Now it looks like a common sense, but common sense is not common
Very
practice. It's not common. It's not common. It's not a common practice. If I were you listening to this, I would start by adding small elements in my universe, my environment. What could be the small element? It could be starting from just adding one book to your universe. It could be just adding one more person who is bigger and better personality than you. Taking one small action of creating some content or sharing your some thought, right? Just one course, one program, just the power of one is so powerful that by just changing one small thing, small action, it'll have a ripple effect and compounding effect. So start by just one small baby thing. See, when I started my journey, I did not think that, I'm going to become a multimillionaire. I'm going to travel the world. I'll live in, luxurious places and, Dubai and everywhere. I never thought that. I said, what am I supposed to do today? I want to create just one content, one video, right? And when people are laughing at me at the beginning, people are laughing at me. Why am I, I'm creating content and what Dave knows about this, what Dave knows about that. A lot of my friends started laughing. I don't care. I was like, man, even one person is watching this video or creating, reading this content. If I can impact this one person's life also, I think I got my happiness and my fulfillment. So the power
Absolutely.
of one content, power of one book, power of one video, power of one podcast, power of one person that you add into your universe, it is immense. So start with the one.
Yeah. They've so beautifully said, and you have inculcated in all of your mentees also. In fact, I give you a bit incident. Yesterday only, one of my mentee, whom I have mentored, she has put by now only two posts on the LinkedIn. And by doing that, she's so happy. She's so happy. She written a message, sir, it is just because of you. She written 4 or 5 lines. And that started from that one. And that happiness means the happiness of being creative is different. And that is what you are saying. And viewers, मैंने ये तो बताया कि he has come through that slums and he was a truck driver son, but I didn't tell you that what all he has achieved. He has owned the Ferrari also. That is his. Recently, he has done that. He had a 11-room flat in the Bombay. Now he has moved to Dubai. Only because of that, he wants to go global to inspire the people, to impact the life of the people. So from where he has grown where, just because of that one content he started in the beginning. And he has shown us those videos initially कि कैसे थे और लोग किस तरीके से कमेंट करते, but he never bothered कि लोग क्या कहेंगे. And that is the beauty of this gentleman.
Thank you. By the way, 11 bedroom is not in Mumbai. It's in some tier 3 city, tier 2, tier 3 city. But anyways, thank you so much.
It doesn't make a difference, but it's so perfect. But what I'm saying is that how that one content can take you journey from where to where.
Yes.
Means the power of creating. That is what I want to emphasize, nothing else.
Yes, absolutely.
Then the next question arises that the people don't take action in their life, that even one contact action they don't take because of multiple fears, the fear of failure, fear of rejection, judgment, what you said, कि लोग क्या कहेंगे. Now, since it is a natural phenomenon, and I know you have overcome most of the fears, but it's such a natural thing that you also must be coming across some fear sometime. I just wanted to know, rather we have wanted to know, when you come across or you engrossed in some element of fear, how do you overcome that?
Yeah. बड़ा अच्छा question है. How do I handle fear? I can actually see a skydive from here in Dubai, and I still remember that when I was going for a skydive, everybody around me was scared and this thing. And I also had this butterfly in the stomach because, starting from the time you enter the skydive area, they do the weight measurement. You look around people, the people are doing the, folding the parachutes and things. They make you wait somewhere. Then you go to the instructor. He'll tell you theoretical how it works. They tell you this aise strap hoga, aise haath karna hai. They give you some instructions. Then again, you wait. Then you go in the bus. The bus takes you to the plane. And you sit in the plane. Everybody's stacked up. One person is behind you. And then you go up slowly. And then the door opens, right? And then the fear starts growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you're almost at the edge of the plane. You're about to die. You're like, oh, right? This entire episode from entering to all the way there, it is all the mental game, a mental chatter that happens in your head. What happens? What happened this? What happened that? And moment you take a jump, right?
Nothing happens.
Everything vanishes like this, right? Like, oh, what was I worried about? And like, yeah, I'm just flying. And and why am I sharing this with you? Is because I tell myself, whenever these things are happening, I tell myself, we're going to die one day. Yeah. There's nothing to be afraid of. And honestly speaking, Dagvirji, I'm not afraid of even dying today. I don't have fear, because when you give in, when you are, होते ना अपने आप को ऐसा बना लिया, समर्पण कर दिया, आत्म समर्पण कर दिया आप, to the universe, to God or Bhagwan, whoever you believe in. Surrender, yeah, समर्पण, surrender कर दिया है. Get jo bhi hoga hoga. Why do I have to, die in my head so many times? If I have to die, I'm going to die once, right? So courageous person only dies one. So how do I handle these fears? So now today, when I'm launching the campaign, when I'm investing these product from, I say that what is the worst that can happen, man? What is the worst that can happen? Right? I'm going to maybe dying. I will die. That is the worst thing that can happen to me. Or maybe it's not even the worst thing, right? So what am I afraid of? Of losing this money, letting this campaign go or whatever. What am I afraid of? So that's how I handle. Now, in spite of that or despite this, of course, there are some fears. Sometimes it comes. But again, I remind myself that, hey, nothing is permanent. We're going to die. Sooner or later, we're going to die. Nothing is permanent. So what am I afraid of? Let's just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And
So
आजकल
same
तो
thing.
आजकल तो लोग वीडियो बनाने से भी डर रहे हैं. You know it really well because you've been on the borders and you've been a veteran and serving the country.
Yes.
You will know a lot about fear than me because you've been facing the death every single day.
Correct.
And here people like us, civilians, हमने तो क्या उखाड़ लिया, हमने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया है. Like what are we afraid of? Like we just putting the video, you're afraid of? Like,
Yes.
what are you talking about? Just to put a video, you're afraid of. Just you're afraid that people will judge me. Just you're afraid that what if I fail? Just because people will laugh at me. People think I'm not so smart. Is that even a real thing to be even afraid of?
I know.
Right?
I know.
All mental chatter. Most 95% of the fears will never even come true.
I know.
So come back to your ground. Say, man, what's the worst thing that can happen? Right? This is the worst thing. Exaggerate in your head. Okay, fine. Am I okay with that? Okay, fine. Right? Let's accept it. And that's how you handle the fear.
Very right. So true, Dev, and I too follow this. In fact, I give you nutshell with a very brief this thing. Recently, we with the family have gone to the Andaman Nicobar. So there we had opportunity to do those water sports, and one was that parasailing. So the guy who was getting it done in the boat, we were 10 people around, and I asked him, "ये कितना ऊपर तक जाता है?" That parachute, and it was middle of sea, Andaman Sea. So he said, "साहब पूछिए मत." मैंने कहा क्या हो गया इस पूछने? बोले साहब कुछ लोग सुन लेंगे ना, उनको यदि हाइट बता दिया तो वो करेंगे ही नहीं. So I said मेरे साथ नहीं होने वाला. I'm just asking for the sake of knowledge. And what you rightly said, na, you should know the worst क्या हो सकता है. So though everybody has a fear, so I said क्या होगा? पानी में ही गिरोगे ना? आपने वो पहना हुआ है ना फ्लोट करने के लिए.
Yes.
कुछ नहीं होने वाला. And when I went, all smiling. When we did snorkeling or other things we did, I wanted to this what you call sea dive also. But they said that no, 50 se upar nahi kar sakte. I said, I give you in writing that I am physically fit. If anything happens, I am responsible. Please make me do. They didn't allow. My daughter did, but I couldn't. Dev, this one question is that you are a very avid reader. I know that you read books day in, day out, and all wonderful books. So right now, which book you are reading, and what lesson you have drawn from that? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading a lot of books because it's hard for me to pick one thing out of so many books I'm reading. But I'm reading the books on mindset and relationships because I think a lot of times I think. So here's the thing, right? So I evolved over a period of time. So I read 100 books. I read 100 books in a year minimum. Right. And I finished like one book in 2-3 days, sometimes one book sometime in one sitting as well. Right now I'm reading the book called The Rational Male. Right. The Rational Male is again more about the masculinity. It's about a lot of us, we have forgotten, men are becoming more feminine and females are becoming more masculine.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang, right? So we all have this energy of masculine, feminine energy in us. And the tip I can share with all of you guys is, especially the men, it's time to be no more a nice guy, right? It's time to toughen up, time to say no, time to take charge, not just your financial and career, but also in relationship. Because a lot of us, we never understood how the relationships actually work. right? And the relationship don't work because of these energies conflicting. Women are becoming more, just to give you an example, yeah, they're women are actually becoming more masculine. Reason being is the masculine energy is all about focus, drive, energy, vision, hunger, right? It's all career and, achieving. Women, feminine energy is more about serving, love, joy, multiplication, happiness, care. But what is happening is because how we are financially, even women are taking charge in careers and they're looking for the jobs and business and all that. So what is happening is women have to be masculine when they are, achieving and driven and focused. So it's just getting confused and men are becoming submissive, right? Men are listening to women and, following the direction of women and not trying to step up as a leader to lead the feminine energy for the betterment of both relationship. So when you combine these masculine and feminine, and when you are true to your true personality, like naturally men should have naturally more masculine energy. Feminine should also be there, and women should have naturally more feminine energy. But ये थोड़ा conflict हो रहा है, and because of which it is just messing up a lot of relationships, by the way. You see the divorce rate in America is, I think, 40 to 45%, right?
Mm-hmm.
In India, the divorce rate is about 5% or so.
Oh.
But that's not the real number, right? A lot of people want to divorce, but because of the society and stigma, they're not able to. And the reason why a lot of people are not happy in relationship is because we actually never learned and understood how the relationship actually work. We never read the book. We never bought courses. So anything that you're not aware of course, you're going to, stumble upon, and it'll be an accident case. Some people win, but majority of people fail in relationships. So for me, I think this was the realization that I had about masculine energy, feminine energy, and I'm learning a lot about these things.
In fact, upcoming Petty Connect is going to have this one of the topic, isn't it?
Yes, Passionpreneur Connect will have this topic about this masculine, feminine energy and how the relationship work and all those things as well.
And the book you mentioned is, what is that book?
The Rational Male. The Rational Male.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very good book.
So finally, Deb, last question is that you are very fond of even watching movies also, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I love
And
movies.
yeah, you love movies, and not only for just for the sake of watching, you draw some lessons from that.
Yes.
And I remember that in most of the session, you give some wisdom from those movies.
Mhm.
So what is the latest wisdom you draw from something?
That's a very good question, and I like it. I really, I like this question. I watch a lot of movies, and I watch a lot of inspirational movies, biographies, uh, you know, people who have built their businesses. I watch that, some entertainment as well. Yesterday night, I was watching this movie called Gandhi.
Oh.
And this actually movie was shot in 1982, is the year when I was actually born.
Yes.
And it is in English on Netflix. If you not watch it, go and watch it.
Yeah.
And the lesson that I learned, again, we know his story and how he became successful. But the lesson I want to share with you is how Gandhi was one man who stood for what is right for humanity. When he was in South Africa, in African places, South Africa at all, when they were not given the rights to travel first class, they were not given the rights to do certain things because there was all other, white dominant society and all those. In that, he created a movement, and how he united all the Indians and other nationalities, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, to stand for what is right and equality. He fought for that. And that lesson I want to share with all of you, that stand for what is right.
Yeah.
Stand for what is right, even though it may be hard, even though it will be difficult, but they're ready to face the consequences, because that is what is giving meaning to Gandhi. And how he inspired people from non-violence is another lesson, that let people do this, we will be non-violent and we'll continue doing good. And that's like, a lot of people will be attacking you. They may say bad things. A lot of people attack me, Sadhguru, and a lot of people we get attacked on social media. But when you know this, that you're doing this for the right reason, you're doing what is right, no matter how many times people attack you or say things about you, you keep moving forward, and sooner or later you will change so many lives. by just doing what is right. So do what is right.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what you really said, as Gandhi was also growing, he also had a lot of haters. Any successful people will grow, he get more haters also, which is your learning. So nothing to worry about. You keep impacting the life of others. Last question, Dev, what is the last piece of advice to my viewers?
Last piece of advice. You see, हम हर किसी को ना, we are running towards or walking towards our death. Sooner or later we are, मरना तो है, we all are going to die sooner or later. अब choice ये है कि कैसे मरना है.
कुछ करके मरना है.
कुछ करके मरना है कि you know,
ऐसे ही मरना है.
ऐसे ही मर जाना है guilt के साथ. अरे यार, you know, they did a survey and they asked this question to all the people in the 70s, 80s who are retired. Okay, what is that one thing that you regret the most? Everybody unanimously said that, oh man, I wish I would have shown more courage and chosen things that I wanted to do when I was young and able.
Yes.
Now I regret that I did not do it. So marna to sabko hai, we are going to die. But are you going to die slow death every single day by doing things that you're not aligned towards you, which is not aligned towards your passion and purpose? You're going to die every day, or you're going to take a bold step, show the courage, so that when you are old, when you're on your deathbed, there should not be regret. Because life is now, life is for living. Kab mar jayenge pata nahi hai. To jiyenge kabhi, right? Yes. Jiyenge kabhi. Jeene ka time abhi hai. Is in order to live your life, time is now. So whatever you're afraid of, whatever you are procrastinating and putting it off, ke baad mein karenge, baad mein karenge, baad mein karenge. No, bring that to a front seat right now and take small baby action towards it. It could be finding your passion, maybe going to some adventure, maybe doing some videos, maybe talking to some people. Do what you have been procrastinating for long. Start living your passion, your mission, so that you can feel how wonderful this life is and how beautiful it can be by living your passion every single day. And every day becomes a Sunday. And you love what you do and you do what you love. So that's the advice that I'll give you.
Dave, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure talking to you, and such a wonderful, you answered all the questions so authenticity, so transparently, so honestly. And I'm sure my viewers must have loved it, and they will cherish these responses. And from my side and on behalf of my viewers, I thank you so much for giving me so much of time.
It is my pleasure. Congratulations for your 50th episode. You have come a long way and impacting so many lives. And hopefully, again, we'll have 100